rules. I hate rules. I can't stand them. So we got rules. Okay? One of them are, can you take this and shut it off so it's not a distraction? Can you take it and shut it off so I don't catch you texting when you're in the back of the room and I come by and inspect you? Because I get permission. How many of you know now that if you get caught on your phone, you have to get a free beating? Okay, it means you're not paying attention. And you come in here and learn. So please shut that off so we can have your undivided attention. Is that fair enough? So, and why are we asking that? First of all, my name's Steve Young. Welcome to Empower. You're here for one or two reasons. Obviously, somebody created interest in you by just asking you to check something out, which is what you're here to do. And the other reasons that maybe you are here for the services. There's two purposes that we're talking tonight. One is for the opportunity. And I want you to know about that. How many of you are financially independent? Anybody financially independent here? Okay, very good. We got two guys. Okay, so where did you make all your money, sir, if you don't mind me asking? Just work?
Yeah.
Okay, how young are you? How many people know that he's lying like a rug to me, or he's another Bill Gates? Okay, right, so Paul's, that's pretty good. And Cody, you're a wealthy guy in your mind anyway right now, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, how many of you know that money doesn't care who owns it? Doesn't care who owns it. You ever wonder why some people live in the big houses and a lot of people live in the small houses? Any of that irk you at all, any of you? So we're going to go over the rules of the money game. So we're going to show you a business that's relative to money, and here's why. Because how many of you, when you work hard for your money, you want to get paid? How many people, right? And somebody said something to me today, by the way. It was funny on the phone, and he said that we were in the conversation. He goes, you know what? We as people, we're in the world of expecting what can you give me today. And when you go for a job, all you want to know is what they're going to pay you. Am I right or right? See, the true sense of an entrepreneur, you don't want to get paid, you want to earn. Entrepreneurship means that if you're going to be in business for yourself, you determine what you want to get paid. I don't want anybody setting my pace. Hello, does that make sense?
Yeah.
See, there's only one kind of money. Sir, what's your name?
Tim.
Tim. There's only one kind of money. You know what that is? Not enough. Okay, now I had a young lady get me that sour puss not too long ago and said, that's not true. I go, oh, really? I love that. Okay, because the truth is, there's not an objection that all of you can have tonight that we can't overcome. We want you to know that ahead of time. So if you got an objection, put it on the table. We'll overcome it for you in a heartbeat. Is that pretty brazen to say that? It's pretty much the truth, too. Because all you're going to hear about tonight is the truth. So this young lady, well, here's what she was saying. She was saying, you know what? I'm making enough money for me. Great! Wonderful! So you're happy about what you're making. I didn't talk about you. I said there's only one kind of money, not enough. Let me ask you a question. I'm asking all of you the question. Did God make the world abundant in all things?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Let's set the rules here. If you ask me a question, how many of you want me to answer it? Okay, well, if I ask you a question, I expect you to role play too. Fair enough? Yeah. So watch, okay? Did God make the world abundant in all things?
Yes.
Then why do we have people starving? Why do we have people homeless? It's just not, see, we are screwing it up. Am I right or right?
Right.
He gave us everything, natural resources and the ability to make money. We're not deprived. We just get stuck the way we're raised and how we think. See, the only difference between you and me is the way we think. That's it. I'm just like everybody else in this room. I just want to see. So here's the deal. Caitlin, is it? Kayla. Okay, you work hard, so you work for a paycheck. That's okay. That's what we're taught to do. Go get a job, right? Well, money doesn't care who owns it. We're going to show you the rules to the money game, and we're going to present a business to you because Empower is expanding nationwide, and we only really got started here in Southwest Florida about 8 months ago, which is pretty exciting. We're all over in all the states right now, presenting an education to people. We give people choice. We wake them up. It's time to wake people up and stop waiting for people to give you what you expect. I expect to work for $50,000 a year. I don't want to work for $50,000 a year. In fact, how many of you would love to be unemployable? By the way, I'm unemployable. You know, how many of you get up early in the morning and roll out and go to work? How many of you would rather just roll over? I'm just checking, okay? It's all a matter of preferences. So we give classes on how to roll over instead of rolling out. Does that make sense? So the opportunity is awesome. And by the way, the average transaction when you get to a management level that we'll show you tonight, that only takes you 90 days to get for the qualified person that wants to go and work. Did you hear me, Alex? 90 days to go to, I'm busting his chops on purpose. Anybody know that, you know, he gave me permission, so you all know. 90 days, Alex. How many days you got left? All right, but anyway, we have a 90-day program to get you a top contract in this company, and it doesn't mean you know what you're doing, because you have a team that supports you in everything that you do. When you do that, the average transaction will pay you about $3,000 every time you do it. I'm going to review those numbers again later, because I want you all to think about how long does it take you to make $3 grand now? Sir, with the Florida hat, is that Florida Gators?
Yeah.
I thought it was FSU, just missing the S and the U. Okay, you know what I mean? I'm teasing. Okay, so you're a Gator fan, obviously. So how long does it take you? What's your name, sir? Andrew. Thank you. How long does it take you to make like $3 grand right now? About 2 months. So if we could replace that in 3.5 hours, and you believe that, would that be worth you doing it?
Yeah.
No. He was trying not to tell me what I wanted to hear and then get agreeing with it because he had it. Because it was the right question. It was, I mean, he'd be silly not to answer me anyway. I asked him, right? How many people agree with that? So Tim, you're safe. He's raising his hand. You're right. Okay. So we have fun at that. Business. We're opening up a business, and everybody needs what we have. On the services, every one of you, unless you're financially independent, need to pay attention to what we're doing. And we're going to go through all of it tonight. We're going to do it quickly. You're not expected to get it all. You're going to grasp the concept. And then we'll stay behind and answer any questions for you. But it's thrilling. Because what we're going to show you is what you should have been told way back in grammar school and high school and didn't learn it. In colleges, you're not taught it. In fact, it's in the textbooks, everything we're telling you, but they don't teach it. That can get anybody cranky, okay, when you think about it. We are here to show you what you need to learn and to make it apply to your life, and you go implement it. Knowledge, how many of you ever heard the phrase, knowledge is power? That's a lie. How many of you going, huh? See, when you come here, you're going to get a different way of looking at things. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Am I right or right? Right. Okay, just check it. You can be the smartest person in the world. If you're not using it, you're a dumb butt. Is that true or true? Mm-hmm. Hello? Yes. How many people know dumb butts? Right, exactly. It's never going to change. People get taught, they learn. Some of you tonight are going to walk out of here, never do it. When I see you somewhere and I know you never do it, I go, that's a dumb butt. Because you're going to give me permission. Now, you get mad at me. Don't get mad at the messenger. Just listen to the message. I know it sounds obnoxious, but when you find out it's all the truth, you're going to go, ooh. It gets frustrating. I sat with Aaron many years ago, back 40 years ago. It turned me on. When I found out the rules of the money game and I had 2 degrees and never was taught what you were going to learn tonight, it made me cranky. When I found out I could build a business and be independent and not have the thumb put on me, not somebody set the way I lived and drive the car I drive, or what time I had to get up in the morning and where I could go eat and where I could go vacation and be told everything to do every day, I couldn't stand that. How many of you feel that same way a little bit? There is hope, folks. So that's why you're here. The opportunity and or the services, and definitely the services. In order to do it, we have our first speaker that just, he's a couple of transactions away from getting his first promotion. He's got some new associates in the business. He's pretty exciting. He's off and running, learning his business very well, and he's going to give an introduction to Empower, and that's Byron. Come on up, Byron. Byron Firestone.
Steve?
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Well, like Steve said, welcome. Welcome to Empower Tuesday night weekly briefing. I start off usually at the night. Last week I had a little story. This week is going to be a little different. By the way, you can see up here, this is our website, Empower Enlighten Your World. First question I want to ask. I'm going to pick on a few guys. If I pick on you, just bear with me. Courtney.
Yes.
Does your resume apply? Does your resume, when you put it in for an application, will that give you six figure income?
Probably not, no.
No? Garrett, what about you?
Yes.
Yeah?
No.
Tim, right?
Yes.
What about your resume? Does that give you a six-figure income when you go to apply for a job?
No.
Anybody in here have a six-figure income from just their resume? No. Because nowadays, no matter how much schooling you go through, when you get out of college, your resume, unfortunately, is not going to get you a six-figure income. And it sucks. Right? Kayla? You agree?
I agree.
Paul, what about you? I know you know firsthand that it kind of sucks. Exactly. So my point is that no matter how much schooling you have, and I'm not bashing on school because I think that education is one of the most important things in the world. I went to college up in Ohio. I went to Ohio University, majored in finance and business economics. I got out of school. I went to Columbus. I don't know if any of you guys know the Buckeyes, but that's where I was. Had a great year there. Worked for a financial company, and nowhere near six figures. And I thought, I put 4 years in. I know people that put in 8 years and they can't do that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not about your resume anymore. It's about what you know, and I also talked about change last week. Change is the biggest thing that people don't realize nowadays. I have a good friend who's a bartender. Went to school for 4 years. She is a hardworking, individual American person, and she has told me over and over times that she does not have the opportunity to advance herself in the position that she is in. She goes home, she goes to work, then she comes home around midnight, we'll have a beer, have a cigarette, whatever she does, go to sleep, wake up, let the dogs out, go back to work. Change does not happen unless you make it happen. I'll be the first person to say that I experienced that all by myself. And I'll tell you who changed my life is the man in the back there. He woke me up. So that's what we're here today to do. We're going to disturb you. We're going to change you. And if you walk out this door and you don't change, it's no one else's fault but yourself. Because change can lead to many things. It can lead to bad, it can lead to good. And one thing that I've heard recently that I love, and I'll use it every day, is we all look at the final goal. My final goal is to make $1 million. Help as many people on the road as I can. But it's not the goal that you go after that's the biggest purpose. The goal, yes, it's there, and one day you will reach it. It's the brick road that you travel along to get to that goal. And the reason why I say it's the brick road traveling that you take to get there is because as you go through life, you need to grab everything you can. Take little bits and pieces that's going to help you throughout your journey. And then one day you will reach it. And I'm here to tell you that this is going to be one of those pieces that you grab. And I hope it's a very big part. So as Steve said, you can look at this as a business opportunity, as everyone should. But it's also about the services, which are in my mind, everybody that's here can use them. There's 4 parts to our business. It's Empower, Power Financial. We are a consumer advocacy group. Does anyone know what consumer advocacy means? I'm going to need a little bit more participation than this. Tony, what's consumer advocacy mean?
Oh, you're going to advocate for the consumer, meaning that you're defending or you're help aid to a consumer figuring out, whatever they're purchasing.
Good. That's good. Yes. You look out for the best interest in the consumer. Okay? Who's the consumer? Me, Taylor, Courtney, Tim, Tony. Everybody in here is a consumer. We look out for the best interest in you. Can someone tell me something that they use every day? Oh, I know you know this answer.
Cell phone.
Cell phone. What's your name?
Fluff.
Fluff. That's right. Fluff. Gosh, I know you now. I'll never forget you now. Fluff. You said it right here. Money. Why is it that we know more about our cell phones, our laptops, sometimes our cars, than we know about the thing that makes the world pretty much go around? You don't go to the you don't go to the Starbucks and you don't say, hey, I got a great wallet. It's worth about, 10 cups of coffee. I'll trade you. We don't barter. They're gonna look at you and think, get out of here. You're killing me. I don't get paid by wallets. Money. So how come we know more about the rest of the things in the world than we know about money? Because if you don't know the rules of the game, you've already lost. And that's what Empower Financial is, consumer advocacy-wise. We look out for the best interest in you with money. So tonight we're going to educate you. We're going to educate you, and it's going to disturb you because everything we tell you tonight is facts. And you say, well, you're going to disturb me. You're not going to disturb me. We are going to disturb you because guess what? What's going on in the world today, what you don't know is what you don't know. And what you don't know will keep you broke. So like I said, there's 4 parts to our business. The first part is our energy, as you can see right here on the screen. Who in here uses energy? I better see everybody's hand up, because if not, I'm going back to your house and I want to see your house. or the rock that you live under, whatever it is. SpongeBob, Patrick, okay? Energy. Everybody uses it. Fluff, when you get your electric bill from FP&L, what do you do?
To tell you the truth, I look at it and I'm like, dang.
Right.
It gets
well, what do? You pay it.
Yeah, it's strong right out the account.
You look at your bill, you might, pardon my language, be and moan about it, but you have to pay it. Why? because FP&L down here is a monopoly. And in every state except for 14, energy is a monopoly. You have no choice and no options. So what Empower Financial, what we do here as a consumer advocate, is we are able to go into those houses and say, in the 14 states that are deregulated for electric, and say, listen, you have options. You go to it's like grocery shopping. You go to Walmart for the lower price. You go to Whole Foods for the better quality. Maybe someone wants better services. Maybe someone needs a lower price. You can help them in that way. You can show them what their options are. Oh, and by the way, helping them out, you get paid on that. So if you're looking at this as a business opportunity, at the end of everything, I will show you how it is a business opportunity for yourself. The second part of our business is audits. And every time I think of audits, I think of accounting. And I think of very complicated numbers, and that's not it at all. People don't understand how simple it is to make 6 figures. Not easy, but simple. Auditing. Who in here owns their own business? Tony? I better see everybody's hand.
Yes,
Okay. You own your own business, and you take, for example, Tony, when someone pays you, okay, and they say, you know, thank you so much. By the way, what business do you own?
Headquarters in Haircuts.
Headquarters. I get my haircut, so I knew that answer. I just wanted you to say it. So I was in there today. When someone pays you with a credit card, what's that called? The account that you have to pay for.
Merchant account.
A merchant account. Every time you swipe that card for somebody paying you however much it is for whatever the services you've done, you're paying a company 3 to 5% for a merchant account that they are giving you those services. You also are paying for telecom services, internet, cable, TV. And within less than 15 minutes, you can go in there, get a signature, last month's billing statements for merchant and telecom services, send it in to this company right here that we work with hand in hand. As you can see, the utility advocate up to the left and Power on the right. We work hand in hand. As simple as 15 minutes of going in and saying, hey, I'll show you what you can save, and as a free analysis, by the way. It doesn't cost anything for a free analysis. Go in and get signatures saying that you can do this. Last month's billing statement for merchant and telecom services. Take it to utility advocate. They'll see backing up to 2 years. If you've ever been overbilled, mischarged, or if there's ever been a better service that you were not given. Tony, if the company that you are paying for those services said, you know, I'm going to give you a $50 flat rate, and in the month of November they said they're giving all new signees $30 flat rate, are they going to call you up in November and say, guess what, Tony, I'm sorry, you overpaid this month, I'm going to give it back to you? No, because they're going to make money either way. So we go back and see, updating back to 2 years, if you've ever been overbilled, mischarged, or if there's ever been a better service. And we get you refunds on your money. And we save you money for the 2 years coming up. We're seeing as little as $7,000 a year all the way up to $300,000. Oh, and by the way, for that 15-minute service and you just saved that company money, you get paid on that. Consumer advocacy. Best interest in everybody and the consumers. The third part of our business, my personal favorite, especially, how do I get back here, is debt. Who in here either is in or knows somebody in debt? I should probably see everybody's hands up. Because ever since credit cards came out, everybody's in debt. I heard one time credit cards were the worst invention in the world, because now not only are you getting in debt, you are spending money you don't have. And if you pay cash or pay debit card for everything that you do in life, now you're being not rewarded anymore, because we have what's called a credit score. I'm learning firsthand that now you have to have a credit card if you want a good credit score, or you need to make payments all at once if you want it. But debt. And what we say is this is debt-free solutions with results first. What do I mean by that? We're seeing 30-year mortgages paid off in 6 years. I'm sorry, 9 years. I have a different story in my head right now. 30-year mortgages paid off in 9 years without spending an extra dollar out of pocket. How's that possible? You put in all your information into the debt program software. It uses algorithms to show you the quickest and fastest way possible to pay off your debt. I recently worked with a client that was going to be in debt for 6.7 years. And after we got done talking with him and put him in the debt program, he's now off in 1.3. Do you realize how much money you are saving by not paying creditors for 5 years? Or in the 30 to 9 case, for 21 years. You are paying someone else to live your life. It also works as a GPS system to life, as I like to call it. Because let's say, for example, Kayla, Courtney, you two beautiful women, you decide you're going to take me out to dinner after this because you know you said I'm a really good speaker and I'm kind of cute, so you're going to take me out to dinner. So we go out to dinner, and we go to Applebee's because it's real close. And I'm cheap and I don't like to spend gas money. And you decide you're going to pick up my steak for me. Thank you very much. $70 meal, you swipe your credit card, you're in the debt program. At that moment, that instant in time, that $70 goes into your debt program and shows you what now you need to do to get out of that situation and move forward from there. Pretty neat. So when you're GPS and you're out in the middle of Whoopieville or whatever, and you need to take a left, but there's no road there, and your GPS says go straight, take a left a mile down the road, what are you going to do? Left?
Straight, make a left mile down the road.
Exactly. Because it knows the quickest and safest way to get there. The debt program is the same way. So now, you've saved money on your electric bill. You've saved money on your business. You're now out of debt. You're not paying creditors anymore. Who do you pay?
Yourself.
Who said that? Did you raise your hand?
I did not.
Gosh, you always blurt out answers. I'm just kidding. Feel free to blurt out answers. I don't care. Financial services is the fourth part of our business. You're out of debt now. You're done paying creditors. And someone other than, say, who you pay. Thank you. We need a little bit more participation. Can I just hear everybody say yourself real quick? Just so I know. Just so I know yourself. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to make sure you're alive. I mean, I don't want to have to go call 911 to see if we got any heart attacks happening. Financial services, you pay yourself first. Why is that? Why do we want to pay ourselves first? Who's the most important person in our life? Don't blurt out the answer right now. I want to see some hands. Who's your, sir, what's your name again? Next to Paul? Yes. Cole. Who's the most important person in your life? Nice answer. Right? Someone must have told you that answer. Because if you don't go out and work, who's paying the bills? Who's making the money? Nobody. No one's going. If you're gone and you're not paying yourself, no one's going to pay you. Say, guess what? Steve works very hard, but he's going to pay you first. He's a nice guy, but he's not going to do that for you. I'm a nice guy, and I'm not going to do that for you. No offense. So we talk about personal retirement. Personal retirement, because and we have a very young crowd in here today. Personal retirement, at most of our ages, we don't think about that. We think that we have the mentality that we are Superman and that nothing can happen to us, and what happens to other people is not going to happen to us. Well, guess what? What you do now has a ripple effect on what your future is going to be like. Anyone in here own a retirement account? Tony, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a 401k, 403b, IRA, or anything like that? IRA? Who are you in partnership with that?
What company? Wells Fargo.
Who gets the first payment when you go to take that money out?
Oh, Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. If I told you there was a way to get your money tax-free, would you be interested? Yes. Yes.
I love it.
So, we show you how to get tax-free retirement. But first, you need to learn how the rules of money work. And when the next person to come up here, one of my good friends, Garrett Coe, is going to show you the rule 72. Shows you how the money doubles. A smart man named Albert Einstein invented it. He said it's the most powerful mathematical equation in the world. So, Garrett, will you come up here, please?
All right, guys. Well, for most of you know me here. My name's Garrett. I've been part of Empower for about 8 months now, kind of since really we took off down here in Southwest Florida. And what I'm going to talk about, I'm the numbers guy. Basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fly through some numbers. So if you got a notepad, feel free to write it all down. But I am going to call out and saying there's going to be 4 numbers you're going to write down, and I want you to circle those 4 numbers. So I'll tell you when they come up. But just follow along. We're going to go through the Rule 72, which basically, simply put, it's pretty cool. It's a mathematical equation created by Albert Einstein, just like Byron said. And it was what Einstein said was the greatest mathematical equation ever created. And the reason why is because Rule 72 is all dealing with compound interest. Now, compound interest we deal with every day. We might not just realize it, right? So compound interest, what is it? Well, Rule 72 is how money using the compound effect of money, right? So what you do to calculate that, you take 72 and divide it by whatever rate of return, whatever interest rate you have, and it's going to show you how long it's going to take for that money to double. Now, what that means is that any interest rate percentage, no matter if it's a credit card, a student loan, a car loan, a retirement account where you're getting a rate of return, whatever that rate of return is, whatever that interest rate is, you divide it into 72, it's going to give you a throwout, it's going to spit out a number, and that's how long it's going to take the money to double, right? So we're just going to fly through a little example here, and we're just going to make it nice and quick, nice and easy. We're going to take somebody at the age of 23 who's got $5,000. And let's say that 23, they got $5,000, say they just graduated college, and they got a $5,000 gift from their family saying, congratulations, just graduated college, here's $5,000, start your life, put it away towards something. Most people take $5,000, if they're going to put somewhere, they want to start a little savings, they're going to put it in a bank, in a savings account, right? Now, savings account, as we know, you put it in the bank, majority of the time you're getting 0.2 to 0.5%. That's the rate of return. Maybe it's a long-term CD, maybe you'll get 2%. But no matter what that rate of return is, you can divide it into 72, and that's how long it's going to take that $5,000 to double on top of itself. So for this example, we're going to say we have a 23-year-old guy or gal who's got $5,000, and he wanted to put it somewhere, let's say a long-term CD with Bank of America. With that, they're going to give you 2% rate of return. So if you wanted to see how long that $5,000 is going to take to turn into $10,000, you take 72 divided by 2, and it's going to equal 36. And there's your answer. It's going to equal 36 years, but $5,000 to turn into 10. So for the example, we're just going to go ahead and play it out. 23-year-old, $5,000, and it's going to go on down. So we're going to play it all the way down. So every 36 years it's doubling. So 36 to 59 to 95, there's $20,000. That's how long it's going to take. So it doubled every 36 years, right? Pretty simple math. Nice and easy. Every 36 years, just add it to your age. That's how long it's going to take. And for that, we go woohoo. Because right now, if you're 23-year-old at the age of 95, how much is $20,000 really going to get you? Maybe a year's worth of salary. You might pay yourself $20,000 for 1 year's worth of living. I don't know if anybody makes less than $20,000 right now in this room, but you're probably not, living so well if you're making less than $20,000 unless you got something else, right? So for that we go woohoo. Not saying, hey, I'm Bank of America guy. I feel bad for you, right? So you had a 2% rate of return. I want to give you 6%. The reason why is because $20,000, it's not going to do much when you're age 95, so I'm going to give you 6%. Sounds pretty good, right? You know what? I'll throw in a nice new necklace for you as well. Whatever necklace you go to whatever jeweler, you pick out your necklace. I'll give you $20,000, or I'll give you 6% and a nice new necklace. And it sounds pretty good. So you're like, yeah, that sounds great. 6% is way better than 2. Same person, same 23-year-old, same $5,000. We're going to do it again. Now on this, I'm going to ask a few people. I'm going to call a few people out, and we're going to we're going to guesstimate. At the age of 95 here, at 2%, we had 20,000. So all we're going to do is jump the interest rate from 2% to 6%. So I'm going to triple the interest rate from 2 to 6, right? And we're cutting the years down. Instead of 36, it's going to double every 12 years. So I'm cutting the 36. I'm cutting the interest rate by a third, right? Simple math. 36 instead of 36, we're going 12. Instead of 2%, we're going 6%. So Claudia, at the age of 95, you could just take a wild guess. What do you think you might have at 6% as opposed to 2%? You can just throw it out there. I mean, I know it's a lot of numbers. Like I said, I'm the numbers guy. I'm going to fly through it, and we're going to get through it. Throw it out.
320,000.
320,000. Really good guess here, Cole. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to go ahead and play it out. So Claudia, don't worry about it. Like I said, I'm just picking on you. It's all right. So let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to do it. 72 divided by 6 is going to equal every 12 years. So the same 23-year-old saved $5,000 as opposed to 2%, we're going to go 6%, right? So let's see what it is at the age of 95. So 12 years later, 35, 10,000. Double it again, the age of 47. Now you're at 20,000, which is way better than 95 here at 2%. So another 12 years, you're at the age of 59, $40,000. 12 years later, age of 71, 80,000. Another 12 years, so you're at the age of 83, 160,000. And Cole, age of 95, $320,000, right? So good shot back there. So just from going from 2% to 6%, you can see the difference of just 4% points higher of the difference it really makes. And that's how compound interest works, because it's compound. It's compounding on top of itself, so it's pretty profound, right? So the first number I want you to write down is 20,000, right? So write that down if you have a notepad. That's number one I want you to write down. So then we're going to do it one more time now. But we want to go something a little bit more realistic. Let's say we're going to get an 8% rate of return. The average stock market, if you're investing in the stock market, it's been a little higher than 9%. So we're going to show an 8%. Just say if you're investing, you want to invest, we're going to show a conservative 8% as opposed to 9.2, which is, I believe, it's been in the last 20 years. We're going to show an 8%. Okay, so it's going to make your money double every 9 years. So you take 72 divided by 8, doubling every 9 years, right? So simple math. Same 23-year-old, same $5,000. Cole, what do you got this time? Come on, man, you shot that one out. I thought, all right. All right. Take a guess.
Say like $700,000.
$700,000? Good guess. Anybody else? Kayla, Courtney, you want to shoot it out? Tim? All right, we're going to go with 720. $700,000? You, Cole?
I'll say, yeah, 720.
720. All right, sounds good. So there we go. The point is that we're having just, all we're doing is taking the same $5,000, same $5,000, one-time investment, putting it somewhere at 8% as opposed to 2%. So we're going to go ahead and see how long it's going to take for it to double on top of itself, which is going to be 9 years. 72 divided by 8 equals 9, and it's going to double on top of itself. So 23, let's do it. 9 years later, 32, you're at 10,000. Another 9 years, you're at the age of 41. You're at 20,000, which is opposed to 95. Way better at having it at 41 as opposed to 95. Now, you see here, we're only at a 6-year difference from the 6 to 8. But that 2% makes a huge difference in the long run because of how it compounds out, right? So let's go another 9 years. You're at the age of 50, 40,000. 9 years down the road, you're at the age of 59, 80,000. Another 9 years, you're at the age of 68. There's $160,000. And here's where it gets really exciting because it's going to double on top of itself every 9 years now. So another 9 years down the road, age 77, 320,000. 9 years down the road, you're at the age of 86, 640. And Cole, see you later. We're at 1.2 million. Over 1.2, so $1,280,000, right? So that's number two I want you guys to write down. So number two, right, $1,280,000. That's the second number. Okay, and so for this we go, okay, we like to ask a simple question. So we have A here on the left, B here on the right. Cole, if I can introduce you, and one of the two, you get a choice. You get A or B. Which one would you prefer? B? Andrew, you had a choice, A or B. Which one would you like?
B.
Tim?
B.
B? Cody?
B.
Claudia? B? Here?
B.
That's what I thought. And that's what we always like to ask that question because, boom, we go where the money is at, right? We want to go where the money is. So if I told you you were investing your money in a bank at a long-term CD, a Bank of America, they're going to give you 2%, maybe give you that nice necklace you wanted. They're going to give you $20,000 because simply you do the math, do it yourself. 72 divided by 2 is going to equal 36. If you're a 23-year-old with $5,000 and you wanted to invest it in a long-term CD at 2%, it's going to take that long for that to double to 20,000. You're going to be at age of 95 before you have 20,000. Now, what the bank's not going to tell you is that they're taking your $5,000 and they're investing it over in B, which means that they're taking your $5,000, they'll give you your 20,000, but they're going to make over $1.2 million on that same $5,000 that you put in the bank. When they're going to give you 20, they're going to make 1.2. That's legalized extortion. Extortion meaning theft. Why is it that they get to do that, not tell you, but they're going to give you this? We don't like that. So we like to expose that. If you ever travel around the big cities, Tony, you ever been to Miami?
Yeah.
You see those giant buildings, right? Look at the names on those buildings. They're all banks, right? Banks. Why is it? Who's paying for those giant buildings? We are. My money in their account. My money is not actually in that account. When I go deposit that check's already gone. The number's still in there, but that money actually physically put in there is gone because they're taking that money and they're investing it at a higher rate of return to pay for their big buildings and their money. Okay, so that's the rule of 72. Pretty simple. It's an easy mathematical equation, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal, especially if anybody in here, does anybody in here have a credit card? Anybody care to share their interest rate that they have, the rate of return on their credit card? Right?
27.6.
Woo! 27.6. Anybody want to divide that into 72? Here's 8. That's doubling every 9 years. That's 8%. Let's double, what's 27.2 divided into 72? What is that, doubling every 2 years? Which means that his money that he owes to that credit card company is going to be doubling on top of itself every 2 years? That's crazy, right? Now times that by every single person in America that has a credit card. Every single person that puts money in the bank. Every single person that has a student loan, car loan. It's crazy, right? That's what's happening. So what I'm going to do from here is go into, well, that was the perfect world, right? The rule of 72 is just money doubling and compounding on itself every single year without any kind of effect of loss. But we're going to talk about loss now, because compound effect works 2 ways. Works in your positive way when it's compounding out in a good way, but it also compounds out in a negative way. So if you're down, that money's compounding in a negative factor. So what happens if you have a 5% loss? What's the real story on that? So we're just going to go ahead and do it. So for this example, I know I'm talking really fast, I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you, but hey, that's what we're here to do, is kind of learn a little bit. So in this example, we're going to take 72 divided by 7.2%, which is going to equal every 10 years. Just nice, easy, simple math, right? So it's going to double every 10 years. Everyone follow? Any questions on that? No? Okay. We're going to take $1,000 to make it nice and easy. So it's going to take 10 years for that 1,000 to go to 2,000. So we're just going to play it all out. Year 1, 2, 3. Here's a progression going all the way down to year number 10. 2,000, right? But what happens if there's a negative effect on that money? What would that do? So if you had $1,000, here's perfect world on the left. What happens if you have a 5% loss? For this example, we do 5% loss in year number 2. What is that really going to do to the long run of it? Well, let's check it out. So in year 1, or year 0, you have $1,000, same as the one on the left here. We're going to do year number 1, same exact thing, but in year number 2, we're going to have a 5% loss. 1,018. Not a huge substantial loss. We lost a little over $100. But let's see what it really does in the long run. So let's play it out. So there's a 1 loss in year number 2, 5%, and we're going to get all the way down to year number 10. There's our final number, so 1,776. Now, Cole, you're pretty sharp on the last one about the interest and how it compounded out. So a 5% loss, right, in year number 2, what does it really equal? 11.4% loss in return. The reason why is because compound out, you're only compounding on the money you have in there. So when you lose 5%, you're never getting that gain really back from when you had originally, right? So it compounds out in a negative factor as well. And for that, we do, if you just look at year number 20, it's going to show the same thing. Year 20 here is year 4,000. Year 20 there, still the same 11.4% loss in return, having 1 year loss of 5%. So when you think you're only losing 5, let's compound it out. It's actually 11.4. And we have the grumpy cat finance because he's a little upset. That's my little jaw in there. He's bummed out because he thought he only lost 5, but it's really 11.4, so he's grumpy. Now, what are we going to talk about here? Throw some more numbers at you, okay? I know it's a lot, but we're going to do a real-life example of retirement plan. We have a few people in there that have retirement plans, qualified retirement plans. We have a IRA. Tony's got one. There's a few other people that have 401ks, 403bs. So what is it? What is it really the bottom line? What's happening? We have to apply reality to it. So for this example, we're going to show you the facts, okay? So here's the facts. We're going to have somebody who's the age of 35. He's investing for 30 years. He wants to take $500 per month, invested at a 10% rate of return, and that's what it is. So he's going to do it for 35 to 65, 30 years, right? $500 per month, 10% rate of return. What do you think it might be at the end of the 30 years? So you can kind of calculate in your head if you want to take a wild guess on yourself. Think about it, and here we go. This is number 3 I want you to write down. So this is the third number I want you to write down. It's 1,788,761. Okay, so this is somebody investing for 30 years, $500 per month, 10% rate of return, right? Simple, everyone follows with me on that? So you got your blue number. This is the number I want you to write down, pretty blue. Let's deal with reality, okay? What is reality? Well, there's a few things that we have to apply to that blue number before we actually get to touch it. Like Byron said, one of those questions like, who are you in partnership with? We like to ask that kind of stuff because that's reality. We have to take in what else applies to that pretty blue number. And the first thing we like to talk about is market loss. And why do we talk about market loss? Well, if you're investing your money and you're putting it away into a market, a stock market, it's going to be susceptible to some sort of market loss. We talk about, we got a book here. It's called Common Sense Retirement, which is pretty cool. And it has the actual rate of returns from the last 12 years of the stock market, or the S&P 500. We'll get a little bit more. I know these are technical terms that maybe we're not really familiar with. But so market loss, we have to deal with reality. For this example, we're going to show 2 years. So in 30 years, we're going to have 2 bad years, right? Now, Tovar, if you could read out for me what we got. This book here is actually the rate of return from 2000 to 2012. So this is everyone that has their money in the market. This is the rate of returns they're getting from year 2000 to 2012. So your 401ks, your IRAs, 403bs, DSAs, whatever have you. So the first year, year 2000, what is that number?
Negative 10.4.
Negative 10.14. Year 2001.
Negative 13.04.
So negative 13 in 2001. Negative 2, or in 2002. What do you got that one?
Negative 23.7.
So boom, the first from 2000, 2001, 2002, we had negative 10, negative 13, negative 23, which is 3 years in a row of double-digit negatives, huge losses, boom, boom, boom. Then in 2004 or 2003, we jump up 26%, which is decent. Then we almost had 9% in 2004, positive gain. 2005, 3%. Woo. 2006, we're up 13. 2007, up another 3.5. So woohoo on that. And then 2008, so what's the number?
Negative 38.49.
Negative 38.49, which means in 2008, almost 40% of all retirement accounts, no matter what you had in there, was gone in a flash. No one predicted it. It was gone. So if you had $1 million and you lost 40% of it, that's huge. That's a huge loss, right? That's almost $400,000 that just goes away in a second before your eyes of your nest egg, your retirement. So for this example, the reason why I like to show that is because from 2000 to 2012, that's 12 years, 5 of those were double-digit negatives. We want to be conservative. We're going to show 2 bad years, one at 5%, one at 10%, at a 30. So if you don't think that the market might go down twice in 30 years, let's say it went down twice at 5% and 10%, right? We showed 5 of the last 12 double-digit negatives. We're going to show 2, 1 at 5, 1 at 10, right? So that's reality number 1. Reality number 2, commissions and fees. We'll talk a little bit more about commission and fees, but they're in every kind of qualified account because there are management fees, there's broker's fees. What is it? Well, there's an average of 3% all the way up to 5%, which means that your money that is in there is being eaten away at fees 3 to 5%. So for this example, we're going to show 1.5 because, we want to be conservative about reality. We're going to show 1.5, but the average is 3, just so you know. So your money that's in a 401k, IRA, all that good stuff, has an average of 3%, 3 to 5. Okay? So we're going to show 1.5 because we want to be conservative. What's reality number 3? Taxation. Okay? Who are you in partnership with? Uncle Sam. Who gets the first cut? Uncle Sam. Taxes. We'll talk a little bit more taxes a little bit later, but right now we're going to deal with reality of 25%. Most of us probably fall in the 25% category, anywhere between 25 and 28. Does anybody actually know the highest tax bracket right now in the history of the United States? All right, Tony, what do you think it might be?
95%.
How much?
95%.
95. It's coming. It's coming. You're closer than you think.
Wow, 55%?
It's actually at 39.6 is where we're at. So that's our highest tax bracket, 39.6. We're going to say, again, we're going to be conservative and say we're in the 25% tax, okay? So what happens if you have a retirement plan, a pretty blue number 3, that number that I wanted you to write down, you have almost $1.8 million, sitting good, you're getting ready to retire, and you're saying, I can live off $1.8 million. Tony, if you had 1.8, could you live off that?
Yeah.
I know I could. But let's deal with reality, right? What is reality? These 3 items here. And what do you think it might be after the impact of 2 years of market loss, of 1.5% fee, and taxes of 25%? What do you think the remaining balance might be? Anybody want to take a guess? Courtney? Want to take a guess? Fluff? You know what it is? You've seen this before. Pierre?
$500,000? No.
Half
Yeah,
million?
maybe.
Close enough. Close enough. It's $588,634, which means this is your net investment return, which means that you gave and paid others. This is number 4. I want you to write down You gave and paid others $1.2 million of your sweat equity. Your nest egg is being eaten away by these three items, and we all agreed that those are pretty conservative, right? We talked about last 12 years, we had 5 double-digit losses. Here we showed 2 out of 30, one of them being 10%. Every single one of these losses were over 10%. 30 years, we had 2 bad years. Commission and fees, we only showed a 1.5% fee. Now do a 3 to 5%. Where is it at? Taxes, we all said, now let's do that at, let's say if we're in a 39.6% tax bracket. Here's 25. Again, we're conservative on that. So if you had a choice between number 1 that you wrote down, number 2 you wrote down, I want you to pick which one of those 2 you like. Number 1 and number 2, those first 2 numbers you wrote down. Okay? So give it a little circle. Fluff, which one did you pick?
I like the blue number.
You like the blue number? That's number 3, though. I want the first, number 1 and number 2. So you was going to circle number 2, right? Because that's what we talked about the first one. Everyone agreed that we wanted to go where the money was.
B, yeah.
The B, the A and B. And then this is number 3 I wanted you to write down. And then number 4 is the give and paid others. Would you rather take your almost 1.8 million, or would you rather give and pay other 1.2? And of course, it's going to be number 3. The reason why we talk about this is because this is what's happening. Now, if we had a strategy, everyone needs a strategy for everything we do, right? If we're going to invest, we need to invest smart, we need to invest wise. And there's a guy that we like to talk about. He's a college football coach. You're a Florida fan back there. I'm a Gators fan as well. Go Gators. Do you ever hear of a guy named Bear Bryant? He's the head coach of Alabama, right? He's one of the greatest head coaches around. Well, he had a strategy where he talked about his football team, and we kind of turned it and applied it to a financial strategy. And he said, offense sells tickets, right? Offense, the great run, great pass, great catch, sells big tickets. Everyone likes to see an exciting offense. But then he said, defense wins national championships. And we kind of took that to heart. So, we like that. And there's a lot of rugby players that we played with in here that we agree with that as well. Coach, he was my first rugby coach back in high school, and we drilled defense nonstop. Offense comes natural. We can run off each other. We can play. Everyone likes to juke out and have a good run. But defense is discipline. Need to be defense, right? So we need to have big defense. Defense wins national championships. So we need to have a defensive strategy so we can go get our national championship. So what is it going to be? Well, number 1, we need to defend against, what's number 1? Market loss, right? We need to have a good defensive strategy against market loss. We showed 2 years there that we lost on out of 30, but in this book of the actual rate of returns, we had 5 out of the last 12 of double-digit negatives, right? So number 1, we need to have a good defensive strategy against market loss. So we do market loss. Number 2, we need to have a good defensive strategy against fees and commissions. We showed 1.5% there. What if we took that 1.5 and we turned it into 3 or 5%? What would that really do to our bottom line? It eats away every single year. If you lose in 2008, we lost 38.49. That's not accounting for our fees. We had another 3% fee on top of that, you're losing over 41%. People don't realize that. When you go up, that's good, great. But take into account your fees every single year. When you go down, that sucks. But again, take into account your fees, right? So number 2, fees and commissions. We're going to do fees. Then we're going to go number 3. What is it? Taxes. We need to have tax efficiency. We want a good defensive strategy against taxes. So we're just going to do tax efficiency. Okay, so there's our defensive strategy. We want big goal line defense. Now we're going to move it to offense. We want to go score some points. What's it going to be? Well, if we're going to take our money, we want to invest it. We're going to invest it, and we want to be able to have it grow, right? We want to have good growth. To grow to that almost 1.8 million. So number 1 is going to be growth. Our number 2 offensive strategy. Well, if you're going to have it grow, let's be able to draw some income from it. We want to have some income. Our 3rd offensive strategy. So if you're growing, you want to have income from it. You want it to be safe. You want to have good safety. You don't want it to be eaten away by fees, commissions, market loss, all that good stuff. Number 4 of that is liquidity. Why is that? Why do we want it to be liquid? Why do we want to be able to access it? Because if Tony were to access his IRA right now, he'd have to pay a 10% penalty on his fees that are in there because it's not liquid, right? We don't want that. We want you to be able to access that money. It's your money. You're putting it away for yourself. And number 5, we're going to go again, tax efficiency. And by that, we mean tax-free. And we'll talk a little bit more about that and about where you go and where do you apply all these things to get there and not have to give impailers your $1.2 million and get to keep that blue number. And for that, I'm going to go in and show a little video that's pretty cool from Yahoo. It talks about, the video is titled, I'll Never Be Able to Retire. And talk about kind of why that is. So bear with me, and here we go. Let me get rid of that.
When I was younger, I never thought about retirement. Never entered my mind. Even to this very day, I'm still shocked that I'm in the position that I'm in.
I really never had any savings, and I was contributing to the 401k at my job. And when I got fired, I had to take some of that money just to live.
I've been seriously to get saving when I was in my 60s. I'm sorry I didn't start a lot earlier. And nothing ever works out the way you planned it.
When I got into my early 50s, all of a sudden, I started realizing I'm never going to be able to retire. And I want to retire because, first of all, as I said, I did not have a career. I had a job.
People that I know, my friends, they're in their 70s already and they're still working.
I can't save for retirement right now with what I'm earning.
Over the last 10 years, I've had to really reinvent myself. So I applied for a university in the city. I was accepted, and now I'm living off of student loans. I'm probably going to be in debt for close to $200,000. And I honestly don't think I'll ever be able to repay that.
I have quite a few friends the same age as me that are trying to either reinvent themselves, trying to find a job. It's very hard over 50 to find a full-time job, and they're all struggling. We joke around that we may all live communal to make ends meet when we get older, because it's tough.
I sold some furniture. I had a friend who paid me to paint their apartment. You know, I'm doing whatever I can do.
All right, well, that's my little spiel. And for that, I'm going to bring up Steve Young, our CEO, Coach. Come on up and take it off from there. So thanks, guys.
So good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I hope you're learning a lot. Now, Gary, you did a good job. The most important thing is that who has parents alive in here? Raise your hands. You're going to be thinking of them tonight. Every one of them probably has something like this, and you need to get something like this. Like in that video, what did you all notice about that video? All old. Who are you going to be 40 years from now? What's going to make you any different than them? Your parents right now don't have a clue what's happening. So who has retirement accounts in here? Gary, what are you doing? Where's the master now?
Tell them coconut water have soared in the past.
So I'm sorry, because I want to concentrate on what I'm doing. Who had retirement accounts in here? So I love the questions too. So it's Andrew, right? Andrew, how much of that is yours? Not when you paid attention to Garrett. And everybody says that. Or I like to ask it this way: who really owns your account? You don't. You set it up. If you just paid attention, you found out that Garrett told you that you're working for the broker. Broker Joe. In fact, let me get it straight. Don't you give the brokers all your money every year? Who has all the risk?
You.
You do. But you give them all the money, and they get paid whether you make money or not, right? Right. So you're paying them, and then when you take it out, Tony, you said when you take it out, who gets all the money? The uncle.
Yeah.
I love my country. I can't stand my uncle these days. I'm as patriotic as you, but I'm telling you, I don't like my uncle. And if you think it's good now, it's going to get worse. How many of you are starting to agree? Man, the world's a mess right now. I heard Obama the other day talking. We got international problems like crazy. They just cut off a rugby kid's head today.
Yeah, so.
Over it. It's sickening what's going on. Barbaric what's going on in this world. And we're going to sit by and watch it all happen, and we let things happen here passively. Because you don't know these rules, you can't sit and just let it happen. If you do, you deserve to be broke. Yes or yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to wake up and smell the coffee. So here's what it comes down to. It's just about the math, people. It's just about the math. And I sucked at math. How many of you suck at math? Okay, watch. I didn't do good in algebra, and I flunked geometry twice. I knew I was not going to be in a construction trade, so I didn't care what a trapezoid was. I don't know much about rectangles, squares, round. I got fat, so I knew what round was. Other than that, I didn't care, I didn't know, and I did lousy. I didn't pay attention. I failed twice. Third time, I was an expert. I could have taught the class. Okay, hello. So I'm not good at math, but I'll tell you what I can do. How many of you like to walk around with Benny boys in your pocket? Franklins. I can count them. See, how many of you can count money? Anybody can count money? All right, you're with me. We're on the same team now. That's what we can do. I like math now. Other than the other kind of math I don't like. Now, so it's all about the math. There's nothing too sophisticated. Everybody can understand that. You just got to stay with it. And we got to repeat till you get your lights go on. Second part, we're going to show you the alternative and pay attention because everything has a story. How many of you know that technology changes so rapidly it's ridiculous? How many of you go buy a cell phone, when you walk out the door, you know you got stiff because the new one's coming out next month? That's the way it works. It's the same thing with money. But you don't know it because you're sleeping at the wheel because you don't even know how money works. Boom! How many people are getting boomed right now? Okay, we're going to knock you out before the night's out, okay? You got to learn to repair. Am I right or right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's a fact. And if you don't learn to take responsibility, you're going to stay broke. And don't come to me for money because I ain't giving you mine. Give it to church first because they ain't asking for it. See? God takes care of those who takes care of themselves. Am I right or wrong? Okay. And others. But it's about learning. So, before I even get into this, okay, we're going to show you that alternative, but I'm going to tell you that technology changes, so do the rules of the money game. So technology's changed, but you didn't know this. So I'm going to give you the rules to how this was done. I'm going to tell you the product that was created. So what we're going to show you over in this example in a minute is a thing called an IUL. Just so you know what that means, it means indexed universal life. Life, insurance, throw up. If you told me I was going to be talking about insurance 40 years ago, I would have said, go get a life. However, how many have parents with a mortgage? How many of you had parents? So they had a kid. Raise your hands, everybody. You came from somewhere, all right? So guess what? Now, it's Tim. Tim, how young are you?
25.
Tim, you got life insurance?
I do.
You got the new kind or the old kind? Very good, Tim. Tim had to think about it. What the hell is he talking about? Okay. See, I asked the right question because I knew what the answer was. See, if you don't know if you got a new or old, then obviously you got the old kind. There's a new kind. You probably don't have it. Do you know what it is? What you own? I promise you, it's the old kind. How about that? See, and it's great that you got 25. Are you single, married? Single guy. Why do you have it?
My parents got it from me when I was a baby.
See, they were planning on him. Not on him dying, but thinking about college funds maybe. Some he's got it now, his health, all that. There's all reasons for it. So you got to change your stinking thinking to about insurance is now about investments. Muy importante. In fact, you're lucky you're here today because whoever brought you here just gifted you. So I'm going to show you, this product was born and created in the year 2000. But I'm going to tell you why. First of all, what does IULs do? It does three things, so I want you to get it real quick. First of all, it gives you life insurance, okay? So you got to have life insurance. Second thing it gives you is a thing called living benefits that Trey's going to talk about. Living benefits. And the third thing is a tax-free retirement. Now, does tax-free beat tax-deferred all the time? All the time. How many of you don't want to overpay on your taxes? Boom. And all of you are doing it every year and don't know it. Why are you giving your money away? If you're going to give it away, give it to Garrett.
Yeah.
No, because I got a noose around his neck because I'm going to take it when you give it to Garrett. How about that? No. Okay, so those are the three things an IUL does. It's called Index Universal Life. Now I'm going to give you the quick history so you know it's all factual and true. You can go look it all up, all right? Now, first of all, we use the laws that you don't know about. And incidentally, by the way, your accountants and your certified financial planners don't know this either, because if they did, they'd be doing it. How many of you now know that you would not, ladies, women get pregnant, am I right or right? Do you have any children, miss? So you've been there, done that? How was the journey? Good? Okay, so when you went to a doctor, boy, he's getting very personal. Here's the deal, okay? When you had a baby, did you go to a podiatrist or an obstetrician? You're right. For those of you who said, what the hell did they just say? A podiatrist works on feet. An obstetrician works on women and babies, having babies. Are you all with me now? Okay, in other words, everybody has their field of expertise. There's no way that you all understand the tax code, you accountant types. In fact, your accountants don't understand the tax code. You know why I know that? Every year, the Business Week does it. Go look it up. Every year at tax time, the Business Week, this is too cool. And what they do is they take one guy like Tovar here, Alex Tovar, and they take his family and his data, his income, all the same, and they go to 10 of the top accounting houses. And they give out all his numbers, say, give me back the returns. Guess what we get back? 10 different returns. If the laws were the laws, why are we getting back 10 returns from 10 of the top accounting firms in the country? Who knows what's going on? Hello? Fact. Business Week does it every year. Every year. And every year, the same thing. All 10 are different. What's that tell you? I'd shake your confidence in what you're doing right now. You're probably not getting your money back you should be. Now listen to this, okay? We're going to use the law for tax-free income. I'm going to cite the law for you. First of all, it's in the tax code that I'm telling you. Go look it up. It's called Tax Code 7702 and 101. Okay? Written right in the code, and it was over 50 years ago. That's over 50 years. By the way, they call it a loophole. Who in here hears the term loophole? Being a former mayor, we can speak about legislation having written it, signed it into law, understand working with legislators to understand that stuff. If you don't know it, pay attention. This is what kills me. When they write a law, first of all, Tony, right?
Yeah.
Tony, what's a loophole for you?
Tax loophole?
Any loophole. I don't give a crap what it is.
When I go to dinner, I just say, yeah, headquarters, and then I get to write off my dinner.
Amen. So he's not paying for it, his company is. Now that's a tax advantage. All right? Code, is it code? What is it? Cole. Cole, what's a loophole for you? Oh, cut corners. Very good. What's your name again, sir? John. John, what's a loophole for you? Oh, sure, you're all right. Okay. Now go ahead.
Way around the law.
Way around the law. They write the law, and they write the loophole right with it. What kills me is you go, oh, there's loopholes. Why don't you find out what they are? If they wrote them, what do you think they wrote them for? Yeah, and guess who's using them? Yes, and you're sitting there going, huh? Not cool. Cut it out. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Does he call me dumb? Not unless you don't use them. If you don't use them after night, yeah. Hello. I don't like him. I understand. I understand why you get mad. I was mad too until I found it all out and I implemented it. See? Knowledge is power when you implement it. Am I right or right? Okay, it's very hard to argue in here. So I don't even have one. Here it goes. Tax code 50 years ago, written right in there. Go look it up. Here's what it said. We're going to give you a way to have tax-free money in investments, but it has to be wrapped around a life insurance policy. That's what it said. That was written that. And then all of a sudden, in 1976, okay, pay attention to time, a guy named John Bogle, okay, he is now still alive. He's older than dirt, okay, but he's still alive. His name is John Bogle, and he runs a fund called the Vanguard Fund. Brilliant guy. He created an investing thing called indexing. I'm not going to give a whole lesson tonight, but you want to know, he created indexing in 1976. He got sick and tired of competing with all you guys would say, I can time the market. You lying dog. You can't time crap, and nobody can the people that tell you they can. They're out of their minds and they're lying. I'll prove it to you. I'll bet you $1 million and I'll take your houses and I'll sign up and I'll loan everything you got because I'm going to win. You can't time the market. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have some people say, I know when the market's going up. I know when the market's going down. They don't know anything. You have anybody tell you that? Run. That's my advice to you. Everybody with me? Bogle fought them and created the indexing that beat them 9 out of 10 times. He's pretty famous for it. Indexing is the thing to do. So I'm just letting you know that. Then, after that happened, in 1999, something else happened. Seems like technology changing. The government came up. There was an act on Congress that said banks can only do banking, insurance companies can only do insurance, and stockbrokers can only do stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Andrew, you know what that act is? Because you're shaking your head yes. Do you know what it is? But no, because you're identifying with it. Dad, it's your moment.
Glass-Steagall Act.
The Glass-Steagall Act. He's like the famous guy. First time he read it, he goes, Glass-Steagall Act. He was great. That's what it was. Two guys named Glass-Steagall, Congress people, passed the act. And what it did was keep them all separate. You couldn't commingle. So back up until 1998, you had to get insurance from insurance companies. They couldn't cost money. Now you go into a bank, can you get anything you want? Yes. In 1999, they repealed the act. What they call the new act?
Financial Modernization Act.
Do you hear that? Wait, sounds intelligent. Financial Modernization Act, 1999. That's what gave birth to what we're talking to you right now about an IUL. In fact, I'm telling you, insurance people, investment people don't even know much about this. So in 1999, the Glass-Steagall Act, Glass, G-L-A-S-S, Steagall, was repealed. And then after 2000, the insurance companies got in there. Now, of the three industries, just take a guess at it. Courtney it is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Courtney, you still with me? You paying attention?
yeah, I go with my eye.
Right, you weren't napping before, were you?
No, I was paying attention.
That was a slow blink. No, I'm only kidding. No. Okay, so thanks for playing along. Now I lost my thought. Where was I going?
I don't know.
Yeah, the three industries. Okay, of the banks, of the insurance companies, and stockbrokers, if they had to compete, who do you think would win that game? Just take a guess. You don't have to know.
The stock market?
Stock market. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Okay.
You got one choice. Make it right, Tovar. All right, all right. So it was the insurance industry. You have any idea, Tim? You know why? Cole, you know why? They got more money than anybody. They control 85% of global wealth. That's why. They can afford to do anything they want to do when they want to do it. How many of you drive a car? How many of you got auto insurance? Boom. Anybody got a house or live in a house? Somebody that's paying that mortgage, guess what? They got homeowners insurance, life insurance, health insurance, insurance. Insurance. Your insurance out the gazoo. Am I right or right? How many of you never use it? Raise your hands. Man, are they making money? Woo! I'll give you all those reasons another day. We're not here now for that. But I'm just telling you, the insurance company is why they're the ones that created this IUL, and they're knocking it out of town. They perfected this product in 2004. So that's one of the places we're going to redirect your monies to, because that's where you want to go for growth and implement our strategies. Remember the strategies that he covered? We're going to cover it right now. Now watch. Let's come over here. This is a true example, by the way. We're not making it up. The red line is the S&P 500. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's the top 500 companies in the country that they use as a barometer for how the economy's doing. Right? If they do poorly, here's what you're doing. You're speaking Chinese, Russian, or you're dead. Hello? This is a new financial class. We teach very differently here. How many people like this kind of teaching? Right. They told me I'm going to be dead. You're right. Hello? Are we right or right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, just checking. Thank you. All right. So here's the deal. See, we got some women in here too. How many of you women, Courtney, would you agree that women are more moody than men?
Probably, yeah.
What do you mean, probably? Oh, man.
Probably, yeah.
I feel strongly both ways. She sounds like a politician, right? No, I'm not looking. So, Miss, what's your name again? I can't hear it.
Nadia.
Claudia. Are women moody, Claudia? Yes. Caitlin, would you agree? Kate?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. How many men agree that women are moody? Raise your hands. Boom! Look at, there's no argument here. I love that. I use my wife, and I'm married to a woman, and she's redheaded. Wow, are they moody? Woo! Now watch. See, the stock market, you're just like the stock market. A woman's like the stock market. Here's my wife. It's her birthday. Yay! I didn't even get her a card. Boom! I went and made dinner. Yay! I burnt it. Boom! Okay, wait. I went to do the laundry. Yay! I forgot the sheets. Boom! How many people, like my wife is happy one minute and crappy at me at the next? You ever know how it works? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
All right, you're all with me, right?
Yeah.
Look, Courtney going, I don't even like this guy. I'm sorry I even came here, okay? No, so that's it. So the stock market's like a woman, yes or yes? I'm teasing. You all have, by the way, I forgot to ask, you women's have, you all have a sense of humor?
Yes.
If you don't, I was going to tell you to go die, okay? Because you're going to anyway. So here's the deal, okay? That's how the market works. Well, this is true. You put $100,000 in, and that's from 1997. Now, Ryan, you're a mathematician, right? 2012. How many years is that, bub?
It's
Oh my goodness.
Come on, bro.
Every week he was
15
going
years.
12 last week, 15 the week before. Man, how many years?
10 years.
Bub. It's right up here. 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Okay, good. Give Ryan a round of applause. He's got a bad tooth. Very good. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh man, I'm not related right now. Woo, no. So it's 15 years of performance, okay? Through the rise and fall of the market. That's what happened. So if you put 100,000 in, guess what you got waiting for you? 165 based on the market. That's the real deal, man. That's not made up. That's the facts. Okay? Everybody clear about it? Now that's the red line. We're talking about the blue line. Let's stay with the red. At the red, Garrett gave you a whole little lesson here, right, Pablo? See, here's what you all forgot. Andrew, you look like a pretty bright guy, except for the hat. That's good. You have a sense of humor too, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Now, Andrew, okay, what's the deal here? What didn't we talk about here? What do you got to do to this money when it's out here? You want it. What do you have to do?
Okay.
Right. So your uncle's coming. So let me go and be your uncle. You're going to give 25% of that. So 25% of 165 is approximately, you're right, 40,000. You're brilliant, Andrew. You're a quick thinker. All right. So that's 40 grand you got to take off there. Then guess what? You forgot to pay the fees. You're paying 3% every year, whether you win or lose. Joe, what do you call him? Broker Joe still gets his money. Are you all with me? Remember, you gave him the money, you got all the risk, but you just pay them anyway. You silly people. Silly people. Okay, so you're paying 3% on 100,000. Am I right or right?
Right.
So 3% on that is another 30,000. Andrew, I know I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but you already had to take off 40,000. Now take off another 30. What do you got left? 40 and 30 is 70. That was 165. You got less than what you started with. How are you pumped up now, Andrew? I didn't think so. Guess what your parents are doing? You thought you were going to inherit something? You're inheriting nothing. He goes, well, my parents are wealthy. I'm going to get it all. Yeah, that's what you think. I'm kidding. I have no idea who Andrew is. I never met him before. Okay, but how many people think like that? I wish I had wealthy parents. They're probably not going to give it to you anyway. But anyway, listen to this. But, oh, Clay said that's exactly right. Boom. All right. Wow. So, Byron, you trying to marry Claudia? Is that what you're trying to do? She's wealthy, is that what you said? So here's the deal. Everybody understand what's going on there? After you have to do what you're doing, it's not your money. So, Tony, you ought to be a little PO'd about your IRA, my man, because that's exactly you, sir. I'm just pointing out here. It's not. See, it has Tony written here. You just got to look at it really clearly. Are you getting it, Tone? I want you to do the blue line. The blue line's an IUL. Now, watch. Let me tell you the rules here. The insurance company comes in and says, here, listen to the rules of it. They say, you know what? We're going to give you we're going to cap you at 14%. So you're going to get market rates of returns, whatever the market's going to do, but we're going to cap you at 14. So let me repeat what that means. If the market makes 25%, now here comes the test, all right? I'm coming right at you. Right? So here, if the market's making, Claudia, what I just say, 24%, what's the insurance company going to pay on this money? You're right, 14%, you're brilliant. You're capped at 14. So if they make 20, what are they going to pay you, Andrew? Right. If they make 13, what are they going to pay you? No, 13. You're going to get whatever the market rate is, and you're capped at 14. Oh, you get that, Tim? Okay. Everybody understand that concept? Big John, you paying attention? You're a young guy. I know it's like, well, what are they talking about? We'll spend time with you. It's not going over your head. Don't worry about it. We're throwing a lot of stuff at once. I just want you to know the facts. All right? You with me, Tony? So you cap the 14%, and guess what? When the market goes down and loses money, they're going to guarantee your principal and your credited interest, so you get 0 applied. So when the market makes minus 10, what do they give you? 0. Right! Who in here would not want to guarantee their money? Oh, that was close, Cody. He was going for, I'm going to answer that one. He put his hand right down. You see how I got to pay attention to the question, right? Okay. Everybody with me? Why wouldn't you want your money guaranteed and capped to get a guarantee? And at lifetime, you're guaranteed 3%. So that's what they're doing, and they're basing it on the S&P 500. Your money's not invested in it. The insurance company's doing now. It's another day, another dollar, another lesson. But I'm just telling you what the rules are of the IUL. You can get up to 14%. You never lose your money, and you got a lifetime guarantee of 3%. Give me one reason for anyway why you wouldn't do it. Cole, give me one reason, can you? Oh, really? You didn't pay attention to anything about taxes, because guess what? Here's the other part. Do you know all this money is tax-free? Remember that? You can make all the money you want in the world, but if you're going to pay taxes on it, you just gave it all back again. Then you got to pay your 3%. Remember I just said that? And in fact, in that example, you had 168, but when you're done, you're minus 10. So you might think that you can make more money. I say, here's your responsibility to all yourselves. Take care of your retirement right now and keep it going, because you're going to be somebody in the future, and there's going to be nobody there to take care of you except for you. And if you don't take responsibility now, you're going to be dead broke like all those people in that video. I challenge you. We learned a lot when we were your ages. In fact, no, I was older. 28 years old, a mentor of mine is one of the wealthiest guys in the United States to this day, grabbed a hold of me and he said, pay yourself first. I got that. I said, that's not hard for me to get. I was even in my back rent, folks. I was not in a good place in my life personally at this time. Had to go to the landlords and negotiate, throw me out or work with me. They worked with me. I said, I'll make up. And sure enough, I made it up. And guess what? I never paid the rent before I paid myself first. Every month like clockwork. Some of you aren't doing that. That's why you're broke. You're not making money work for you. You're working for it. I think that's dumb. Who agrees? Just check it. You agree? Yeah. Well, raise your hand, you knucklehead. You have to get you a mirror. So you all with me? So that's how an IUL works, and I gave you the rules to it, okay? Now, the blue line, just remember this. When the market, see how it's going up with the market? By the way, this blue line is only at 7%. Is that right? Who said that, Ryan? Is that right?
Yeah, Paul, 7.5.
7.5. This isn't even based on 8%. So you have no idea. Now watch. You got 211,000 there. Now, I don't want to be a rocket scientist, but here's the deal. How many of you would rather have 211 than 165? Here's what you got to remember. And this 211, you already paid the fees, it's netted out, and you pay no tax on it. Which one you want, the red line or the blue line?
Blue.
Right answer. Now watch, just to see how it goes. When the market's going up, you're getting the market rates, okay, up to 14%. When the market crashes, what's it do? Levels off. Guaranteed zero. When the market's going up, it's going up. When the market crashes 2008, levels off. Then it goes up with the market. See, I like how Ryan says it. There's a pattern to the market. Look at it. What do you call this? Circle, square, circle, square, circle, square. What's coming up? Right answer. What goes up must come down. Doesn't it happen all the time?
Mm-hmm.
All the time. You got to take advantage of knowledge. Knowledge is power when it's passed on to someone else and implemented. Is that true or true? Fact. Okay. So that's the line. Now, remember I told you three things. Life insurance, tax-free retirement. This is a big area that we're going into now. And I think I covered what I had to cover for you, right? What? No. Because you have to do your thing. Living benefits is a new crusade. I'm just going to tell you this, and I'll turn it over to Trey. And then you can invite me back up and finish up. Right? And that's this. That living benefits is only in this country for about 10 years, and out of 2,600 companies, there is only 18 doing this right now. Our opportunity is very ripe right now. That's why we're looking for young leaders, because in 3 years from now, this opportunity is going to be like a Burger King and a McDonald's across from each other. You're going to have plenty of competition in the world. Right now, there's zero. And living benefits, I'm not going to do it justice because we have a living example of it. And I want to invite up Trey Carter to give you a good example of what living benefits are all about and explain it. Give him a nice round of applause.
All right, how's everybody doing? I'll be quick, easy, short. Go ahead and write down 10 names that you know, love, and care about most in your life right now. Don't think too long and hard, just do it. Like I said, 10 names that you know, love, and care about most. And like Coach said, this is a personal crusade to me. You know, tax-free retirement, saving people money, showing them how money works, to me is great. And I love it. But as far as living benefits, this is my personal crusade. This is why I do this. And like Coach said, you know, I've had personal experiences in my own life. A lot of people have heard the story, and some of you haven't, so I'll go ahead and tell it. But first of all, I'll explain what living benefits is. What living benefits is you have life insurance. All right, so in an IUL, you're paying for the life insurance. So they're agreeing to pay you a sum of money when you die. So you got to die to benefit from it, which kind of sucks, right? Like you don't get to benefit from it. So what living benefits is if you have a heart attack, cancer, stroke, or you're diagnosed chronically or critically ill or terminally ill, they're going to go ahead and they will advance you your death benefit up to 90%. So if you have, say, $1 million death benefit and you were to have a heart attack and you couldn't go to work for a year, how are you guys going to pay your bills to begin with? Someone answer me?
Health insurance probably pays a little bit of that.
No, because the health insurance pays the doctors and the hospitals. They don't pay you. So does anyone know how? Aflac. Aflac. You know, but hey, yeah. But and honestly, though, how are you going to pay your bills if you can't go to work? All right. Savings. Savings. Okay. What if you have 10 grand, you know, and you can't work for a year? You're paying $1,000 mortgage. You know, that's not even a year worth of mortgage. How are you going to eat? How are you going to pay car loans? How are you going to put your kids through daycare? Whatever it is. Life's crazy. Life's crazy. You know. How are you going to pay the bills? You can't. Does anyone know the average age of a heart attack? 43. Anyone know the average age of bankruptcy? 44. 44. Why? Can anyone tell me?
You have a heart attack and you spend all your money trying to fix yourself so you have nothing in your life.
Exactly. Exactly. So to me, that's a personal crusade. If I could be there for somebody when they're at their worst, and instead of waiting until they die to benefit from it, and they can benefit while they're alive, that's my personal crusade. Because how many of you know somebody that's had a heart attack, cancer, stroke younger than the age of 65 and survived? So everybody except one person. And I ask that question every single week, and we have the same amount of people, sometimes more, and everybody's hand goes up every single time. So what's going to make you guys any different? What's going to make you guys any different? What are we doing to protect ourselves? Why should we not have living benefits? Because I'm going to tell you right now, cross 7 names off that paper. Doesn't matter who, cross 7 of them out. Doesn't matter who, 7, just cross 7 out real quick. Because I'll tell you, it's a fact. Everybody in this hand everybody in this room just raise their hand. 7 out of 10 people are going to have a heart attack, cancer, or stroke before they turn the age of 65 and survive. So that means out of here we have about 20 people here. That means 14 of us will have one of those big 3, and 6 won't. What are we doing to protect ourselves? Who in here has a family? Does anyone have a family? You got a family, Tony, Tovar? You got a family back there? You have a kid?
Household family?
Yeah, like a kid.
No.
Well, I have a kid, and first thing, Tovar, you have living benefits, you have life insurance, you know you have something guaranteed for your future as a man. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Who in here plans on having a family one day? Even if you don't, who cares about themselves? Who wants to survive? Who wants to live life, man? What are we doing? Because I'll tell you right now, my mother passed away at the age of 44. I had 2 strokes before she passed away, and that's a very young age. My dad's had one at 48. I lost both of my grandparents to cancer. And all of you, I'm sure, somebody here knows somebody or lost somebody close to them. It's out there. I don't want a pity story. I want you guys to realize it. It's happening. It's real life, man. It's real life. And when I seen that happen in my life and I got left with debt, well, hurt more my father. I lost the house I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? And now I have nothing, and I built myself from the ground up, and it's made me the man I am today. And I know that's the reason I was put here, to sit in front of people like you with this opportunity and to build a business doing so. That's why I do it. So I don't care if you don't want to save for retirement, at least plan for your future. Protect yourself. Get living benefits, man. What's going to make us any different? What are you going to do to protect yourself? Have the health insurance, because like I said, the doctors and the hospitals get paid, but you won't. And then when you drain your savings, I don't know what to tell you. And that's pretty much what living benefits is. That's my little spiel. So I'll let Coach come back on up.
Nice for his little spiel. Good job. I hope you heard what Trey just said. He said that he lost everything, his family. lost the house, lost the business. You don't know what it's like from going from living a great life to all of a sudden be thinking, where am I going to feed myself around the next corner? Don't let it happen to you. So that's why Tim it is, right? Tim, that we don't sell anything. We don't have to sell anything. We're not a sales group. We're a consumer advocacy group is what we branded ourselves with. And by the way, you ever see these magazines? Young people don't pay attention to this. Older people read them all the time. Okay, this has got money all over it. It talks about exactly what we just finished telling you about fees. This one is October's issue. It just came in my mail today. Right in the top, retirement reality check. It says everything that we just told you. Okay, we're not making this stuff up. So you better be paying attention. If you didn't get it, ask more questions and check out. We don't sell anything. We replace everything. Because Tim, you got the old kind. You need the new kind. Why wouldn't you have living benefits along with your death benefit if you could at no extra cost? Be dumb not to. Then you want tax-free retirement. I can't tell you what to do, but I can only say A or B. I'm good at that. And by the way, A is lawful and B is bonito. That was for you. Did I do good? Okay. Okay. All right. So what's that? No good? No bueno? Oh, very good. Okay, good. So here's the deal. Oh, and by the way, books like this exist everywhere. Okay, that we have that show you the rates and tell you about what you're paying in your funds. See, you know what kills me? People are naive as heck. Like, how many of you got a tax refund check last year? See, why? Andrew, why? Why did you get it? I love that. I love it. And Andrew, I bet you were pumped up about it. He went, yes, I got one. Let's go out, partay. It's on me. Savings, beer, all right, vacation, dummies. Now don't get mad at me. How many of you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? See, truth hurts though, so we're going to give it to you. I know. See, you got stinking thinking because somebody told you how to live life like that. It was wrong. You grow when you learn something and you grow up and adjust yourself. You got to learn to adjust. It's uncomfortable. How many people know I'm telling the truth on that issue? It's unbelievable. There's not a thing you can argue with us about anything. Outside this room, you want to talk about life, I just shut up because I don't know enough like everybody else. But in this business, we happen to know the edge. Now watch. I love it. Andrew, you don't mind me picking on you, do you?
No.
And if you did, you know what I would say?
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So what? You see, we even give you books to see if Paul just read one. What others think you is none of your business. How many of you know what others think you is none of your business, John? So what do you got to care what they think? They ain't paying your bills, knucklehead. All of you walk around living like what people think. Who cares what people think? You got to control your thinking. Am I right or right? So it starts tonight, even with your money. The very thing you're working hard for. So, Andrew, since you got a tax refund check, and I'm so excited for you that you're excited, okay? When you got it back, how much interest did they give you on that check?
I don't know.
Can I tell you?
Sure.
Try this one. Can you say that out loud?
0.
That was a little soft.
0.
0. What are you in life? 0. What'd they pay you? 0. Is that a good deal or a bad deal?
Good deal.
Getting 0?
Oh, no, bad deal.
Now I know why you have the gator hat on. No? Oh, that was a good one. Boom. That was a boom, right? Boom. See, in FS, you could never said that. You know what I mean? No, you do have a sense of humor too, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
I hope so. Okay, good. All right. So watch. You see, they call it tax refund because you overpay all year round. Right or right?
Right.
Every paycheck, you're overpaying. And then at the end of the year, you go, can I have my money back? And you fill out a form. You send it in, and they take their sweet butt time getting it back to you. Am I right or right? So you lend it to them, and they give it back to you with no interest attached. Now, Andrew, if you owed the money, would that work for you?
No.
Oh, in other words, they charge you money? Then why are you taking it? That's called the Great American Bend Over Plan. That plan is perfect for all of you like tax refund checks. I don't. We're going to change it for you. We're going to teach you what to do tonight. I'll get to you, Fluff. Don't worry. And we're going to teach you how to have income coming in. Your paycheck just increased tonight. Why? Because what you're going to do is open up an FIP if you're dealing with me. Who's got an FIP? Here's what we do, and I'm wrapping up. You go like this, but I don't know what that means, Pablo. Okay, it's because you're lazy too, okay? If you were son, you'd be getting sneakers on run up here. Here's an FIP. Pierre, read what that means. An FIP, you ought to be fit. I like that name, fit. Even you ladies, it's a sexy name, fit. I got a fit. It's like you wouldn't want to date anybody unless they're fit. If you date anybody without a fit, you're STUPID. Date somebody with a FIP. How am I doing? What's that FIP say?
Financial independence plan.
If you can't understand that French he just said, he said financial independence plan. How cool is that, Pierre? Very good, man. Okay, good job. Everybody hear that? Who in here should be financially independent? Anybody? Starts from where you stand. 9 out of 10 of people we deal with don't spend any new money out of pocket. 0. We just find money to move it, just like we did with you, Andrew, on your taxes. You're overpaying. Why would you overpay it? We want to increase your paycheck. Open up one of these. We find all different ways. We just did one for your guy with the debt. Can I tell the story? He's not here. This guy doesn't have a lot of debt. He had 20 grand in debt. He had a car he's going to pay for 7 years or 50 something months. He's got a credit card. He's got child support, all this crap. He had no time for retirement, no money saved, and he's 46 years old. And he goes to Brian and he goes, trying to make me a plan where I can retire by the time I'm 72. And I hope to have $40,000 for retirement. Please, if you can find it for me. Well, we ran his debt program and took a look at what he's doing. Listen to what he's doing. No new money out of pocket. We did take $300 that was discretionary funds and used it. We saved $100 on his taxes. That's $400. Then we took his debt. His debt was, that you heard earlier, he was done in 1 year, 3 months. We took all that money, put it in his FIP. He's going to retire at 66, not 72. He's going to have $72,000 a year of tax-free income coming in. When he saw those numbers, he went, yo, where do I endorse that? I go, you can't. You got to get a hold of Knucklehead at a lake and this Knucklehead and do it at 7 o'clock tonight. And he did. Hello, am I right? Does that happen? Yes. Oh, he owes me a lot of steaks. I kept saying, if I do something else, I want a steak then. You're going to buy me a steak. He goes, yes. I said, pour it on. I kept getting steaks. Now, Flo, what do you want to say, Flo?
On the blah.
Yeah, you got to speak fast, and it's not blah, 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 blah. It's the commercial.
Right?
Yeah.
On the tax refund, some people owe taxes back.
Yeah, they owe tax to the government because they didn't pay enough. So the government says, now you owe me, and they charge them interest.
How do you not pay enough taxes?
Well, because you might be self-employed and you don't pay anything at all, and then you take more, or you don't pay nothing at all, based upon there's a formula, and we use the formula, by the way. We use the IRS formula. So this is Ryan's right here. This cost him $38 a month because we didn't have any spending. $211. That means we found all the rest of the money. So it only cost him $38 a month. For $38 a month, he gets $350,000 worth of life insurance. Okay. He has $529,000 of critical, chronic, and terminal illness. He becomes critically ill, chronically ill, gets hurt, or Alzheimer's, or ALS, or any of that. Like he has excess of over $500,000. And for retirement, when he's 66, and he's a communist. He does work for the state of Florida. He's a commie pinko, okay, for a full-time job as a biologist. And at retirement, he's going to draw $103,753 a year tax-free. Would that float your boat, Caitlin, for $38 a month? Okay. When's the last time you all want to make over 100 grand a year? This is in his retirement. We make a difference. You see, ask me, Andrew, what I do for a living. No, I said ask me, not tell me. No, I profoundly make a difference in people's lives. How about you? How'd you like that, Tony? Did you get it, Johnny boy? Okay, you can't make money here unless you profoundly make a difference in people's lives and tell the truth. We go examine what people are doing and straighten them out and showing them laws and rules they've never even heard of before. Because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not the truth. Am I right or right about that? Here's the business. For those that are listening, for those that are willing to hear, for those that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, for those of you to know that you're going to be working for the rest of your life if you stay in the rut that you're in now. See, you got to be careful. The record only gets deeper. Am I right or right? So here's the option. You come on board with us. We're going to show you what to do and how to do it. We have, as I mentioned earlier, and I started out and I said a 90-day plan. Now, what happens if you don't do it in 90 days? So what? You're still making money being promoted. But we have a promotion to get you what we call a VP, a vice president here, RVP. That's the place to be in 90 days. You don't know everything. Here's what you got to do. Now, Tim, you look like a smart guy. Tim, do you know 5 people we should go see and talk to about what we just saw and showed you? Okay, am I right or right? You ought to change your own circumstance, number 1. So if it works for you, it works for anybody. Am I right or right? See, results first. We believe in showing people results first. We're not sales. I don't want anything to do with that stuff. I want to educate, give you choice. You go see 5 right now, and then, do you have to build a business? No. But if you want to be an American business person, you got to know that you have the right to be in your own business. So, Caitlin, if you're going to run the Naples Zoo, you got to hire a lot of people to run that place. Am I right? You're the chairman of the board. You're the chairman of the board of your company. Go sponsor people to your business. We'll help you do that. Could you, at all, John or Cole, is it? Cole, you think you have? I love what Trey did. You got 10 people on that list. The truth is, you all have 50 to 100. Do you think that we could expose at least 5 people to this business if you wanted to build a company? Yes or yes? Yes. Fact. I don't care. Some will, some won't, so what? Now watch. Of the 5, just 3 do the same thing you did. Do 5. That's a total of 20 transactions in 90 days. We're going to get you a VP contract. Let me tell you why that's important. You see, the average person that we deal with is putting away $300 a month. Now here's what got us when we saw this business. We didn't think, I thought money business, sophisticated, got to know all the, too complicated, no way. Stay away from me until I saw the rule of 72. That pissed me off. Who did, if you didn't get pissed off, Gary did a lousy job. Who got pissed off? Okay, you can stay, Gary. These girls are getting you fired. They didn't get pissed off. They went, oh, I'll stay at the bank. They're giving you 2. They're making more than 9, 27 in his case, and you're sitting there going, oh, I'm happy. Ooh. No wonder we're all broke. And you know what? You don't ask because you don't know, and you're afraid and intimidated. Am I right? Right. We straighten people out. So, in saying that, watch. The financial, make no mistake about it, the financial service business is the highest paid industry in the world. Did you all hear that? Why would you do anything else then? If you can make a difference and get paid well, do it. Make your time. See, more than money right now, because I'm in my 4th quarter. Please understand this, Tony. I'm in my 4th quarter. You ain't. God's going to snuff me out any time between now and 85. I'm a lot closer to that than any of you. So I know it. Time is more important to me than money. You better make time important to you, because make it be your friend. Knowing that $300, the companies pay you $3,000 to do that one transaction. I asked you earlier how long it took you, and I think, Andrew, you told me 2 months. Okay? This will take you 3.5 hours. Would you want to trade 3.5 hours for 2 months? I thought so. Now do you understand why we put a sense of urgency and a time frame on 90 days? Go get your butt to go to work. You won't even know what you're doing yet. It doesn't matter. We work with you. That's a sale on a promotion right now because we're looking to expand and we're looking for leaders. Okay, will everybody do it? No. Are you all blockheads and don't listen? Yes. I ask you if you're all coachable. You go, oh yeah. No, you're not. It's the people business. The best thing about our business, it's all about the what? People. You know what the worst thing about this business is? People. You drive us crazy. Now, what'd you like best about it, Caitlin, what you heard tonight? Nothing, huh? You pick on anything? Claudia, what about you?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's a nice, cool lobby you went out to when you went to the bathroom, I guess. I don't know. What'd you like best about it?
Tonight I learned that I like to invest more in my retirement life. Yeah, anything else.
Amen. Tony, what appealed to you?
I like IUL, and I like literally retire, not giving up to anything.
Amen. Amen. Amen, 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 amen. It's here to you. Cole, are you paying attention? What'd you like best? Amen. Make money work for you. It's that simple. Johnny boy, I know I'm gonna pound you on Saturday when I see you at Calistoga.
I want to pay myself first.
Oh yeah! All right, you got it. What'd you like best? Yeah.
I don't pay taxes now.
No, you don't, but your parents do, and they're getting killed. Tim, what'd you like best?
I think living benefits.
Big, right?
Yeah.
See, he'd do this for, if nothing else, just for that. And remember what I said? Only 10 years in this country. Did you tell them about the doctors doing it?
No.
We'll give you the history behind it. The Bernard brothers that did the open heart surgery, they're the ones that started this. They're awesome, man, from South Africa, awesome. And there's only 18 companies in this country doing it. So you have your opportunity now to build a massive business, because 5 years from now, you're just going to be amongst the average and ordinary, because everybody's going to be doing this. They're all copying what we're doing, but they're sleeping at the wheel right now. So there's a sense of urgency in what I'm telling you. I hope you get that. I hope I'm doing the proper job for you. Andrew, I don't want to leave you out. What do you like best about it? Tax-free. I love that, right? And now you know how to get a tax refund. We work with and for you. Here's what you do. Look at your own circumstances. We ask you, do you have the forms? We have a little questionnaire we're going to ask you to fill out for our benefit to get better at what we do for presentation. Critique us. Let us know. I don't care. Young sock. Garrett needs a haircut. You know, Byram, get a new tie. You know, whatever you got to say, put it down. Whatever it is, okay? So we're going to pass this out, and you can fill it out and answer it. And then fill out what we call a CNA, confidential needs analysis, or simple needs analysis. Fill it out and run yours through the computer so you see what you're doing in your life. Make a plan. It's for you. See, if it works for you, works for anybody, that's all we got to say, because it starts from the person sitting in the chair. Any questions of me at all? No, there's only one more thing for you to do that. And you got to do it, or I come after you. And I give you the freest beating of your life. White fluff.
I got one.
You got one? You got a question?
No, I got one. I'm being right outside before the thing started.
Oh, okay, very good. I don't know what the hell you just said, but it was good. All right, so here's the deal. You have to do one more last thing. You have to give me a round of applause and say thank you. All right? Nice to meet you all. Thank you for your time. Fill out those forms. Get them out. Whoever invited people, make sure they get them.
Her dad died on Friday. Make sure
See what I left off because of time? Trey, one of them was blank.
Can you call me that for an hour?
I gave him what I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you. So I need
Yep.
Now that something's happened. You know, I know he wants to point something. Just let you all know.
I'll hit him up on Facebook.
Yeah, there are 6
And if I get
10's the lowest, 39.
Yes.
I can't, like, Alex,
Right now.
some of them might be blank.
No, they're good.
I'd like, two ladies, you know, nothing wants to do the small wedding.
It's all about.
No, she's cute.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Here, CBO is congressional budget.
Yeah.
Don't pay. Don't do it. Obama passed healthcare. Everyone's going back and say, with all of these,
Especially if it's somebody you know.
They are the branch of your government.
Yeah. But we'll talk to each other. How about you first?
They came by and said, what's going to happen?
Get on the Thursday call and have a meeting Saturday.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the best.
Really nice to meet you. Long term, you're trying to get out. Tax rates are all going up. 10% to 125.
Give me another one.
Cody.
Trey, you got another one of those? I gotta steal one.
Were they blank?
There was one blank on it. Oh, yeah.
Figures about education, you want to know more about it?
Yeah.
Wow, 3%. It's very good.
Yeah.
They can't
Yeah.
go
So if you don't think you have a message to share about actually getting you guys to realize I've felt that it's not about you want to be the reality. You say that here, that's why yeah. It's just like anything else. If I were to sell you stones, sell you shoes, I can tell you about stuff. It's all based on how much we want to pay. But it's like, if I was selling my shoes, I could talk about you, I can try them on.
So,
But if you're saying they have to just buy it.
so this is
Same thing. I can tell you about this $15 raise and how much.
Yeah, I should cover. Now we're all going.
That means nothing, yeah.
Why do you think?
Everything else, but it's not about.
For me, I don't have any of that stuff. So it doesn't matter.
But it's, you know, it's the thing that, you have
too.
You saw that. It's not up to.
So for years, that's my.
One last thing.
And then it's also that's so important. Yeah, name and
First thing right here. I would like to.
So
Sorry. Yeah, it's zero just. You're not hitting all those numbers. If you're doing something entirely, no, I know the reason why you would ask that. I would
You're gonna want to now. You're like that. You don't have to turn it out as a no way to see no, we our company, we don't work for equal companies. We're a firm that so you want to so we shop that out. We do that, and basically, our high we don't touch it. We don't touch it. They just call up the organization and say, you're young, so everything else being inside of the movie. And the only way right now, understanding where it is now, no choice. Excuse me, I'm not related to my money. So we'll see it all and look at it. We tell people, say, you know what? We know what it is.
I just got my user ID now.
Yep.
If someone trained me one for one,
You got to do 5.
No, I need to get. I got my license already, but I need.
I'm saying you still got to do the 5 training sales, because then every person you bring in, it's like saying they don't have to do their 5 training sales.
No, that's not right. That's what I said.
No, but that's how it works. You understand what I'm saying? That's just.
One.
Huh?
I have to start. I want
Yeah,
to start one tonight.
You want to do one tonight?
That's what I want to try to do.
You need the software and stuff. We can't do it tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Are you coming to the sofa tomorrow?
Yeah, we could go tomorrow. We could do it all tomorrow.
Okay, man. I need to get things going. I need to get into
Yeah,
tomorrow.
of course, definitely. Right now, because I'm got a meeting in like an hour.
Oh, you got a meeting?
Yeah, that's why, or else I would have done it tonight. He's got a buddy in California that we're gonna call. Otherwise, I would have done it for you tonight. But then tomorrow, I'm free tomorrow till like 9 o'clock.
6 to 9?
Yeah, 6 to 9.
What when you said 9 At night.
Yeah, at night. Yep, at night.
Because I'm having to work in the morning.
You go to work in the morning? Yeah, and like I said, we could do those numbers. We got to do yours, and there's 2 people there, right? So we can do 2. I'll start showing you the software, how to plug the numbers into the software, where we get the numbers from, and then we got to create them in FIP, and then we got to set a one-on-one with them to go over their FIP. And that's where I come into play, because I'll do it for you. I'll do the first 5, and then you're on your own. Because you're building a business, you know. Because if you didn't do your 5 training skills, it's like, because I know your license is great, but
You have to have your training.
yeah, because then every person you brought in, they wouldn't have to do theirs. You have to train them, yeah. But if you didn't do yours, then why would they have to do theirs?
Like
I completely understand what you're saying.
I found a guy today. He was all over his phone.
Yep.
He was telling me company that was good, like Phoenix or something.
Phoenix, yeah, Phoenix annuities. Because what will happen is they go from a 401k to an annuity to avoid the 10% penalty early withdrawal fee before the 59.5. So it avoids that.
You're still gonna have to pay the 20%.
You gotta pay taxes. So regardless, they're gonna have to pay taxes whenever they pull it out. There's no avoiding that whatsoever. So it's better. Yes. If you pay the taxes now and put it into a tax-free account, considering we don't know what the taxes are gonna be in 20, 30 years.
Can you roll that over?
Oh yeah. They're gonna go from a 401k to an annuity to avoid the 10% early withdrawal fee. From the annuity, it'll go to the IUF. And the only reason we do that is to avoid the 10% penalty fee, because they're already going to pay taxes, so we don't want to tack on another 10%. Do you understand what I'm saying? No. Do you understand what I'm saying? So from the 401k to Phoenix, an annuity, from the annuity to an IUL. That way, they do not pay the 10% penalty fee. You understand?
So tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow 6. Where do you want to do it? Your house?
Yeah, my house.
Where do you live?
Waterways.
Okay, I live out there. Cool. Yeah, I know where that's at. Yep. I'll give you a call in the afternoon, and I'll get your address, and I'll be there at 6. I'll bring my computer. I'll show you all the software, and we'll go through everything, man.
Okay.
We'll go through everything.
That's what I need.
Yeah. Well, I got you, brother. I got you. And you got your agent code. You got everything there.
Yeah.
All right.
Just after you want me to hang on or you want?
I'll do it because I gotta. We gotta get you to get your laptop.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sit down with Pierre tomorrow, just so you know, to do some trainings for him on the clients he has. So you got school, don't you?
I got school in the morning, and then I got work at night.
Well, I'm gonna sit with Pierre tomorrow just to get.
What time?
So 6.
Yeah.
Just because we got to get him going. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Finally.
get him going.
Thank you. Good.
He got his agent portal,
Cool.
so he should be signed up under Cody. You went under Cody, right?
Okay, cool, man.
And then tomorrow he's already got a couple analyses we're gonna run. Fill out his CNA so we can see his, and we'll keep going from there.
Cool. Excellent. We have raid tonight at 10:30.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it or what?
I prefer not to, but if it's only time, then we can.
Because we can get him another time.
But I know he had a hard time.
Right. And I mean, honestly, frankly, I'm pretty hungry.
I'm starving.
A lot of things are like overcoming me right now. I'm being a bad. But it's just, I want to eat right now.
Call him and let me know.
I'll text you.
Dude, I could do it over the phone and just run him on the computer, but it'd be better.
He's I'll call him in the car. Like when we go for tackle or whatever.
You want to cancel our pizza? Okay.
What is the most important? What is the most important number you think?
The number? Mainly, it depends on the person. It's like, do they have a family? Kids? So they need the life insurance. You understand what I'm saying? So based upon what they put here, we're going to calculate how much insurance they should have. But a lot of times what we'll do is we'll give them the minimum amount of insurance and then put a term. Yeah, let me,
Yeah, I know.
But a term? It's a term, because we want, if this is for retirement, we want them to pay the least amount for insurance. Okay. So that they can fund more towards their retirement and then get a term for extra coverage. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you put a $500,000 death benefit on here, they're going to pay more for insurance, which means less goes through the retirement. You understand what I'm saying? Which is why we give them the least amount so they can put more towards retirement and give them a term for the extra coverage. You understand what I'm saying? But the number we get is, I think I've seen $100 on there. That's it. Just put in that they're paying $100. It's going to spit out the least amount of life insurance based on their age and health conditions, and then give us a number for retirement. And like I said, it's mainly based upon their age. So it depends, and like we'll go over it tomorrow. Then we'll see it all tomorrow. I'll show you how the software works, and we'll start creating some FIPs. And then the biggest thing is once we put those in the computer to set up a date where we can sit with them and go over their FIP, so that we can write them. And you already got a training set too. If they do a term, that'd be 3. You'll have your 5 quick. You'll have your 5 quick, and then you're on your own. Yeah, man. Keep going, man. Keep going. Let's get you to DP, man. I know you got to know people that want to be like you, man. I know you. Start bringing them. I'll call you tomorrow, Pierre.
So we were to adjust that.
Yeah, so like, that's what I'm saying, I would do that, so I don't feel like a lot of them like really. Yeah. I don't like writing, I don't like.
I had $20. No, I was Nice to meet you. Did you have fun?
Yeah. We got inside. That's the person here. That's on the side. Get a good number to do that. You will. Exactly. So we're recovering Boston recovery. Nice to meet you. Okay.
So this is what we asked.
I can't believe it's still here. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm still here. I enjoyed this. I did. I'm here to feel like we're having a 403
Yes. Knucklehead. That's all right.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was really good. I was just really confused, so I couldn't answer any of your questions. I know, I was like, it was really informative. We're gonna sit down with him on Friday. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that was good. You need to keep your shorts on.
I think.
Yeah.
Look at you going.
Yeah, anything after.
I know, I didn't.
See, I only got 2 guys.
I got 8:30 appointment, and then after that, I don't know.
Yeah, it was
When? 6 o'clock, they don't coordinate. 6 o'clock?
Nice.
Yeah, but she talks about. We're actually doing that. It's awesome. A lot of people don't even know that.
I want to do it.
Did I do it right? Telling you at 90?
Yeah.
Dude, I just talked to a girl last week.
Make that happen. You still want to know. Who cares? Put it in front of the hospital and shake it up, see what happens. And it's going to
Yeah, keep
My life. That girl has
You were here tonight.
Another 40 points. And that's stuff they fail to tell you when you sign up for it. That's common sense. I like it a little better.
No, I thought you
I've seen this immediately look in the side.
You want me to So you want me to get stick to it for you?
As a man, that's why I'm doing this.
No, I can't get fired. I'll be like.
No, that's the best thing happening.
Actually, they can't fire me right now. My boss just quit, so.
Oh my goodness. Every university.
I'll be at the gym at 6 a.m. again, and I'm watching another 12 hours.
Yeah.
Some people are, some people
Yeah.
aren't.
No, I agree. I think everyone's enough. That's what I'm saying. I was paying attention. I just didn't remember so much. You. I was thinking 70 hours a week.
No problem.
I get up at
Guys,
5
see you.
in the morning to go to
See
the
you.
gym.
Okay, okay. You have an appointment with him?
Yes.
Okay, Friday at 6 o'clock. Okay, great job.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can't take it on.
It's okay.
Go back.
I hurt myself. I was surprised how hard it hit.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny boy, don't let all these numbers and these goofs get you intimidated. You're the man. You can do it. You have fun?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, you're gonna keep
I
going.
know,
Don't worry about it.
I know,
You just spend time
I
to keep doing it. I love it. You kept your word. Kept your word. You came.
Didn't even text me back today. I showed up.
That's the way.
By the way, that's my heart. But
Thank you.
you're one of the
Oh, my
people, I
pleasure.
thought.
Excellent.
We'll see more, man.
Well,
We'll
they
see
were
more.
empty instantly.
So give me a little hug. I gotta and then we'll work on it. Stop saying.
Yeah, no, I can go from there. I can do whatever I put my mind to.
Amen.
Oh, I love that. What you just said.
90 days, BP right here, 90 days, equal to 70 hours.
Even when I'm working 70 hours.
Hey, no, you want to hear something crazy? You tell me.
Okay,
So
women
real about the thing.
tend to do, see, he thinks he's good looking, he's just, he's ugly as the rug, okay? He's a geek, and here's the deal, men are okay, women do great in this business, yeah. You know why? People listen to women more than they do men, and when you learn it and you build a business, I don't have any, one woman yet going nuts, we have it in the company. There's one in Hawaii making $80,000 a month right now, another one in California, the Filipinos. Ladies, and they're going nuts. One's a nurse in California, the other one is not.
Yeah, I need some help. So the next couple of days, I'm busy, but I got like a lot of stuff.
Just pass it up. Yeah.
I got a lot of
I want to be
stuff.
somebody.
I'm on it, my brother.
I want to control my life.
Pierre's trying, he's
I
like,
want to rent it out.
you sit with me right now, I'm gonna do it.
I don't want to give them, I want to go over and not
He's
give
like, I
them.
wanna do it. And I'm licensed.
You're rolling out.
You can't. I was like, I gotta do
Well, I'm
the spot.
We gotta do one-on-one with them. Did we do one-on-one with them?
No,
yet?
So when I'm rolling out of bed tomorrow, 5 a.m.
Just for
Yeah,
you.
every time I tell him that, we're gonna go work on this too.
Yeah,
And it just doesn't, like, he just blows it up.
Getting ready to go to the gym because
Yeah, I ought to call him because I signed him under FEG. We haven't even done that yet.
CrossFit
I
at
just
6
did it tonight.
a.m.
Yeah, well, dude, I wait for people, I'd rather have you, because some people will come 1 week and the next week they're like,
Happy birthday.
you know, it's I don't like when I don't have somebody logged in, it's not
Yeah,
doing it,
yeah.
you know.
You ever got a hold
True,
of
but
it? Normally,
but-
late 20s.
At least the low-hanging fruit. You know, somebody the whole time.
Yeah, and at the same time, because someone gets all excited, and they need to go then. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, if you sign up that tomorrow, you're like, oh, you know?
We need to book an appointment here so we can sit
Meet
down.
with them tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
You want to go?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Wednesday? I don't have anything going on Wednesday so far.
Meet with them from
Yeah.
like 6 to 9, bro.
You've got, this is,
Put it on my
do
calendar.
you want to hang on to this? This is your, that's you brought it, right?
Yeah, but
Two
this
of
is
them have been
the.
asking me to come to the
Well, look, I mean,
for-
okay, so, ooh, look at that. Interested in the opportunity. You got that?
You got a meeting there already.
Don't feel bad. Did you get that text?
Look at that.
Free on Thursday at all?
Talking about a lot of
So it's
people.
on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, you actually got it.
Thursday, yeah.
Right?
Because
Wednesday
Hey, what is the I'm pretty sure you only drink that.
or no, we did return.
I know you said that.
I said you guys here.
I will buy you a drink.
Yeah, right? But you left here, oh, here. No, I think we just, hey, you don't get anything without paying taxes.
I was able to see it every Tuesday.
You gain knowledge one day.
Does it change that?
Okay.
No, storage.
Twice a week.
Experimental laser regeneration.
Yeah.
I had the first one today. I had a huge headache, but I went home. I slept.
Really?
The guy over here, after I talked to him for like 2 hours while getting a haircut, and talking about the business and everything. We had kind of a heart to heart about stuff.
Yeah.
And